It is Tuesday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. I am here with Jean Jacket Joy. Hello, Joy.
You're here with Webby winner.
Webby winner, Jean Jacket Joy. You were Jean Jacket Joy for the episode we won for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's lucky. I enjoy that.
You like these jean jackets on you.
I think it works for you. It's iconic.
All right.
It's good. I have some bones to pick.
With me?
You. Yeah, with you and
What?
Whoopi and the whole. I had a rough day today on the show. For those who haven't seen the live show yet, first of all, and you it's coming from a good place. But whenever I have someone I'm a fan of on the show, which is often because I like pop culture, you make me seem very pathetic to these people. You kind of come up and you make me seem like I'm a third grader.
Well, I know what happened today with Jamie Lynn Sigler.
Jamie
Lynn, but
Meadow Soprano.
Okay, but when did it happen before?
It's happened many times. It actually happened with Lorraine Bracco also. Anytime there's a Sopranos
So it's the
person.
Sopranos.
Yes, you're like, he's a big fan. I mean, no, he's a loser who has nothing else going on in his life except for watching you in his basement.
You know, listen.
It's weird.
If the shoe fits.
It makes me creepy. I don't want to be creepy. I just want to be an impressive person who happens to respect the craft that these people do.
I got news for you. They don't even know who you are.
I know that.
So when I say he in the AP and then you say, oh, can I take a picture, please?
I never say, oh, can I take a picture? I mosey in and maybe there's one, maybe there's not.
You wheedle your way in.
I wheedle my way in, and I like to do it in a subtle way.
But they don't know that we're
talking
talking about. When I say he's a loser and he doesn't have a life, they don't know that it's you. They just know some strange guy is taking a picture with them.
I'm sitting behind a podium.
They don't notice
I
that.
go in and say hello before they come out. There's a whole thing.
All right, well, then maybe at that point they know.
This happens. So the other, the people that I get excited about are the people that I loved as a kid or the people I grew up watching.
Yeah.
So Meadow Sopranos, a couple years younger than me, but The Sopranos was a big thing for me
Right.
as I was getting older. And then the worst story of this, it isn't you actually who did this. It was Candy Carter. Remember Candy Carter?
Yes.
Our
What about
former
her?
co-executive
Yeah.
producer. So she and I were at a party. It was the Hollywood Reporter party. And I'm sitting there, and Ralph Macchio walks into the room. And, I love the Karate Kid. That was a big thing for me, and I'd never met him before.
Uh-huh.
And I got into a conversation with him and his agent, and I played it so cool. I was unbelievable. He said to me, we were talking, we're both from Long Island. I never once referenced any of his movies. The fact that I knew he was Ralph Macchio, we were just talking about sports and all this stuff. And then he says to me, you should come out to the island, see the house that the 80s built. And I'm like, oh, this is it. I'm in. And then Candy Carter comes up behind me, puts her arm around both of us and says, he's the biggest fan in the entire world. He loves the Karate Kid. He loves you.
That was the end.
And it was over. He just glazed over.
He just thought you were a contemporary person, and now you're just another fan.
And it hurt.
So that was the end of that trip?
That was the end. It was all over. Nothing ever happened. He's been on the show since. He keeps his distance now.
All right. Well, that was a fascinating story.
It was the best I had. All right. Let's talk about today's show because we talked about the Met Gala today. By the way, this is the first show in weeks where we haven't had a conversation about Donald Trump. I think you worked him in a couple times, but
did I? I don't think I said his name. Though.
No. All right. So I don't know. We'll see how people feel about that. But
I didn't watch the Met Gala. I have no interest to talk about it.
Well, you were very funny. You kind of
That's different.
You came for everybody
because those are funny pictures for me. But what else is there to say?
I don't know. Well, I think it's about the controversy of this kind of Marie Antoinette let them eat cake cultural moment. But regardless. You were ruthless. You were merciless with these outfits.
Those outfits are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're having fun with it. I don't really care. I have fun with it. They have fun with it.
All right.
It's all one big fun fest.
Until SZA comes for you.
SZA. How does she spell her name?
S-Z-A.
S-Z-A. It's not SZA. It's Zzz.
SZA.
But listen, I know that when they put themselves together, they thought it was funny and fun.
Yeah.
If they don't, that's their problem. They're lacking a sense of humor.
All right. I know Joan Rivers used to get into trouble for this.
Yeah, of course. Because she was funny, okay? Yeah. If you don't have a sense of humor, you might as well pack it in, as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
That is a genetic defect.
I agreed. One of many people have.
But, but Alyssa brings up the point that we always have had bad times, and they've gone through the Met Gala and all that. People seem to understand we're about to lose the country. We are on the brink of losing the democracy. We are on the brink of losing the economy. Everything is in trouble. This is not like other times, maybe during the Depression before I was born.
I was going to say, you've been alive for several centuries. What is the...
Exactly.
Is this the worst it's been?
In my lifetime, no. The Vietnam War was bad also because they were drafting my husband.
But we came out of it. And we rebounded, and now we backslide.
Unless you were killed in Laos, unless you were killed in Cambodia.
I'm not trying to minimize it. It's serious times.
We do not come out of these things in one piece. No, we don't. And I don't know that this will. And I see it every day. And for people to, just go along and like Jeff Bezos with his gazillions and that Elon Musk who's about to become a trillionaire when people can't afford gasoline and bread and food, it's abhorrent.
This is why people call you a socialist sometimes.
They can call me whatever they want.
All right. You mentioned something to me you wanted to address. People are noticing that when you walk out in the morning,
Yeah.
Miss Sara Haines, she like kind of swoops in with you a little bit. And
She thinks that I'm going to fall off the chair.
exactly.
You know what? I sit down with half my cheek on the chair and then I pull the other half over. She won't let me to have time to pull the second half over.
You think this
She's
is
pushing my second cheek over.
what do you think this is about? Is this her trying to look like
She
a
needs-
goody two shoes?
She needs to mind her own business.
mind her own business and keep her hands to herself?
Keep her hands off my second cheek.
Yes. All right. I see a lot of comments about, oh, Sarah's so sweet. She's helping Joy
Yeah,
into her chair.
I know. I'm not, some doddering old bitch yet.
No.
Okay?
All right. I think
Soon, but not yet.
you should push her out of her seat again. All right. Speaking of the show, it's been a great week
I like
so
the
far.
other room because I had a little bit of an audience.
So the other day they sat.
Why don't you put some people over
the
here
other day
to
they
laugh?
sat in the room.
I'm a comedian. It's like I feel like I'm in a wind tunnel here.
I am sorry. I'm laughing at you. Can you, if we have people in here, can you ignore them or will you play to them? That's the problem.
Both.
Yeah. See, that's not
So
ideal.
what? It takes the attention off of you for 2 seconds.
Exactly. This is all the attention I get. I go home and I'm ignored. This is all I have. Ridiculous.
See why I sell that to these celebrities?
Yes, but they don't need to know. You know.
But it's the truth.
I know, but they don't need to know.
Okay.
It affects how, I try to at least.
Did I tell you about how I ran into a woman at King Cullen who told me that Donald Trump is the best thing to ever happen to this country?
You did. You were
I
very
did.
moved by this.
I was
Yes.
very moved
You didn't
by
tell
that.
the audience, though. Tell them what happened.
I told you off camera?
Yes.
Nothing. She just came up to me and she said, "Are you, you look just like, are you?" I said, "I am." Because I don't like to lie to people.
Sure.
"Oh, you are? Oh, I don't watch that show," she said.
But she recognized you.
Yeah. She said, "I think Donald Trump is the best thing to ever happen to this country." I said, "Really? Why?" No answer. Then I said, I was on the show when his daughter was there, and he said, if she weren't my daughter, I would date her. I said, "How do you feel about that?" And he said, she goes, "Oh, he always says silly things." And I realized in that moment that there's no getting through to people who just worship at his shrine.
Yes.
Although the numbers are dwindling.
Yes.
All right, let's get off him. I don't want to talk about
You
him.
brought it up.
I know.
didn't go
because
anywhere near it.
Because it was a story of running into somebody.
All right,
that's
I like that. You shouldn't leave the house is basically what people, that's
I don't get recognized everywhere I go. I've been on the show for 30 years. You'd think everyone would know me. They don't.
Yeah, they do. They just
And
don't say
that's good.
anything.
I have just the right amount of fame, frankly.
I have not nearly enough fame.
No, you don't. But you have to be more on camera.
I saw someone on the internet saying that I forced myself onto the show too much. I'm like, I get pulled in. I don't even force myself.
They mean this show.
No, they mean the live show. I'm like, I'm never on
They
a live
complain about this one, too, that you talk too much.
show. I know. Well, only with you. I mean, I don't talk at all when Anna's here. All right. So let's talk about the week. We have Goldie Hawn, legend.
I missed her.
I know you did.
I was off.
Sally Field, legend. We got
Love.
Hugh Jackman, Stanley Tucci later
I'm so
this
excited
week.
to meet Hugh Jackman again.
Yes.
When he was on last time, he said to me, they want me to do what's the name of that play he just did?
The Music Man.
The Music Man.
Yeah.
They want me to do The Music Man. What do you think? Asking my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't think it's a good idea. Why not? I said, because you're so brilliant. And you had your own show, The Boy from Oz, and you had another show, and it was so great. Why do you want to do material that's been done to death? And it's not that good. It's good, but it's not brilliant. It's not, it's not West Side Story or whatever. And P.S., he did it.
Yeah. He didn't listen to you.
And he did great in it, too.
And made a lot of money.
He made a lot of money.
Did you see him?
No, I don't. I'm not interested in that show.
I saw it. It was
But
pretty
his
good.
one-man shows are so great. And I just love him. I think he's talented up the wazoo.
The Tony nominations came out today. And
Oh, yeah?
Do you have any interest in seeing any of these shows?
Yeah, which ones?
This is not on paper something you would be interested in.
Yeah.
I feel silly even saying it to you.
Which one?
The Lost Boys. My daughter's.
The Peter Pan thing?
No, it's about vampires. It's,
No, forget it.
I
Next.
know, but it's really good.
Titanic?
Titanic, yes.
Is that good?
I haven't seen it yet, but it's supposed to be great.
Death of a Salesman, I hear, is very brilliant but draining.
Yeah, well, it always is, I feel like. But Nathan's fantastic. So,
I'd
yeah.
like to go see Nathan.
Yeah.
Laurie Metcalf is
She's
getting
fantastic.
incredible
Yep,
reviews.
she's great.
Let's get her on.
I'll see what I can do. So when Goldie was here yesterday, she talked about how it became her mission to produce films showcasing the strength of women.
Right.
Can you relate to that with your plays? Is that
I write comedies about women,
Right.
older women,
Yes.
and they all have some kind of quirky thing about them. Mm-hmm. But that's all.
It's not coming from
I'm
a
not on
need, or you
I'm not
have
on
no
a
mission.
mission. I'm not on a mission. No, I just write whatever I feel like writing about.
You write stuff you feel like you'd want to go see. Is that kind of what
Yeah,
you do?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I write things that I can be in sometimes because I sell tickets. Apparently,
Yeah, no, you're a big name.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, your name over the marquee is a
Well,
good
it
thing.
does. I don't know how many. We're going to be doing Bonkers in the Boroughs.
Yes.
I play 5 plays about different parts of the city. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be at the Bay Street Theater in Sag Harbor the week before Labor Day. And that play is all about New Yorkers. Mm-hmm. And then, I'm going to go to London to do them in June. I won't
Yes.
be on the show for a few days.
Yes, I'm not looking forward to that.
Who's sitting in for me?
I'm working on that now.
Put Goldie on. Put Sally Field on. They're terrific.
They are very good. There's no question.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Goldie, her and Kurt Russell have been together for 43
know.
years, never married. You kind of had that in common with you and Steve.
They still never got married.
No, never married. You ended up. Did Steve ever actually propose to you?
No, none of my husband. I do the proposing.
You really do. And they say, "Oh, okay."
I find that, and I look back on my life with relationships, generally speaking, I am the one who comes on to the guy.
Really?
I don't like them coming on to me because I have no control over that. But if I see somebody I like,
You like to have control,
I'll stand next to them. This is how I picked up Steve.
right?
It was at a resort, and we were watching a movie, A Knife in the Water,
Yeah.
and I stood next to him and I started talking to him, and then we took it from there.
How did you propose to Steve?
I said to him at one point, like in 2011, I said, maybe we should get married in case one of us gets sick. We need to have somebody to pull the plug.
And he
Romantic. I'm an incurable
said, "There was
romantic.
no ring. You didn't have a ring on you or anything."
No,
You
I
just-
have my Aunt Rose's ring.
Oh,
I keep my family alive in my Rolodex and on my hands.
that's very sweet.
Yeah.
I like that. You asked Sally Field today about some of her big roles.
Yeah.
And if she felt at the time it was a new dawn for women in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And she said that was the case then, but she does find it harder and harder to get films made with complicated female characters. What do you make of
Well,
that?
you have to. First of all, I watch a lot of British television, and God bless the Brits. They do not have any of these this mishigas about who's old, who's young, who's pretty, who's not pretty. If you are suitable to the part, you get it. That goes for the men and the women, and so I think that we could take a page from their book and start to write things that are about real people, because that's what's relatable.
All right. I think that's right.
Yeah, but I don't think that there's such a dearth of parts. I mean, I watch Netflix and Prime and all that. There seems to be a lot of work out there.
There's always the funny story about Sally Field, and it's been told a million times, but she famously played Tom Hanks's love interest in one movie, and then a few years later played his mother in Forrest Gump.
Oh, that was a movie about a
Punchline.
comedian.
Yep.
Susie was in that.
Oh,
Susie
that's right.
Essman was
Yeah.
in that. Yeah, so
But that says a lot about women's availability of female roles in Hollywood.
Well, all you have to do is put a gray wig on a woman and she looks old.
Yeah, no, that's true. But to go from love interest to mother that quick is rough, I think.
Well, in the first movie, The Manchurian Candidate,
Yeah.
Angela Lansbury played Frank Sinatra's mother, or no, Lawrence Harvey's mother. I think she was younger than him, or around the same age.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Captain Von Trapp dated Liesel off camera, I think. In Sound of
Really?
Music.
Dated
yeah.
Liesel?
Yeah,
Well, how much older was he?
significantly. I think.
What about that octopus she was talking about? I said, was it very handsy?
That was very funny.
Well, I mean, an octopus can immediately start to touch you in places that you don't want
Yeah.
any octopus to touch you.
Octopus is Sara Haines' safe word. Just throwing that out there.
That should be mine from her.
Yeah, there you go with her
She's the octopus.
tentacles. All right, let's get back to Jamie Lynn because The Sopranos is one of both of our favorite shows.
Loved, yes.
It's
and The Godfather. We like mob movies.
we do,
Yeah.
but there's something about The Sopranos, and again, it's because we're both from Italian families, I think.
Yeah.
But what about it makes it such a great show? I will say, Jamie Lynn's beautiful, and I do have a little crush. But Teenage Meadow looks exactly. She's my sister. That character
I
is my
see.
sister. The
Yeah.
brattiness and everything else. Like,
yeah.
oh my God, exactly what my sister was like when she was
I
that
see.
age. What do you think is so appealing about that show?
Well,
Why is it?
I think it's the same thing that what's appealing about The Godfather
Mm-hmm.
is that it's about a family. and they have everything that any family that's close would have, except that they happen to be criminals.
Yes.
That's the only difference in the families. They could be like your family, my family, and the criminality is what makes it more interesting, because it's always fun for crime is always an interesting thing to develop in a screenplay.
Yeah.
So I think that's basically it.
But there's a lot of bad mob movies too. I mean, to be
Yeah,
able
they're
to,
not all good.
No, I mean this
No.
was just to be that compelling for 7
I'm
seasons
telling you,
is-
it's a combination of brilliant talent. David Chase,
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola. I interviewed him at the 92nd Street Y, Coppola.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he was pretty great.
I got to interview Scorsese once, and when I was working at Letterman, and I'm talking to him, and finally he stops me, and he's a guy who talks a mile a minute.
Yeah, he does.
And he just says, "Brian, I've done other movies besides Goodfellas." I'm like, "I'm sorry," because that's all I cared about.
That's a great one.
All right, so one of the more compelling things about Jamie's interview was talking about her dealing with MS.
Oh, yeah.
And she hid it from everyone in her life and everyone in her career for 15 years. And you know, you probably understand this because you understand the pressures of
Yeah.
being famous and
I
trying to get work
I
and all
hide
those
my
things.
brilliance.
I was going to say, is that something you had to hide for your career?
No, you know,
just
when
how
you're
smart you are.
No, I don't mean to take it off of that topic for a second, but
Yeah.
So I'm free associate. First of all, let me say this about her: she's a very brave girl,
Yeah.
and she had also a child that was not well. Mm-hmm. And I said to her off camera, I said, "You had enough mishigas. Everything from here on out is going to be good for you."
I hope so. Yeah.
Because she had her share of bad things happening to her.
And after hiding it for so long, she's doing really great work by talking about it now and making it easier for other people to talk about and understand what she's going
Yeah,
through.
I mean, to have that illness when you're such a young child, it's just horrible. But what made me think in a funny way about how girls have to hide how smart they are from boys.
I mean, I guess that's true. For me, honestly,
You like a smart
I
woman.
like a smart girl.
Well, your wife
A-
is smart.
My wife is smart. My
Yeah.
wife is funny. That's important to me.
Yeah.
I've never been attracted to dim-witted people, even male friendships. Well, that's not true. I have some dumb friends.
To me, intelligence is number one on my list of males.
Yeah.
Of what I like in a man.
Right.
You know, people say, well, you know, how come you didn't marry a rich guy? I don't care about his money. I only care about his brain.
My wife and I always say it never occurred to either of us to marry someone rich, and that would have been a good move. Neither of us had any
I
money.
can't even imagine being attracted to someone with a lot of money.
Yeah.
They first of all, they would control you more, which I don't enjoy.
No, you really. That's the defining characteristic of you. It really
Don't
is.
control me.
Don't control me. Don't help me into my seat, Sara Haines.
No, that's
Don't
true.
tell me what we're talking about today, Brian Teta.
No, you're
Yeah,
right.
you-
Look, I like to wing it.
Yes.
I like to wing it. I don't need to know ahead of time.
All right, but what's the psychological basis for your just? Were you heavily controlled as a child? It doesn't sound like you were. Are you lashing out?
No, I have to worry and think about that.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't have control. I don't want to control anybody else. I
No,
just
but if I
don't-
tell you don't take a sip of that water, you'll drink the water right now. I know that. Like you just
You know what? A preemptive strike, in case you feel like saying it.
God forbid.
But it's like my husband, and including my ex-husband,
Mm-hmm.
two men of quality,
Yeah.
high quality, integrity, kindness, brilliance, both of them.
There you go. All right. Well, that's good. You have good taste in people.
I do. I don't pick bad, stupid, idiot guys.
No. I want to talk about on the podcast yesterday. Alyssa talked about what she's been dealing with.
Oh, my
with her
God, I
infant's
can't
her
believe
son's
that's-
emergency surgery.
She got so upset during the Jamie, when Jamie was talking
About
about,
her
her
son.
son.
Yeah, of
I
course.
could see her welling up at the table.
Yeah.
And it just breaks my heart that she would have to go through that poor baby.
He's doing okay, and he's
Thank
going to be
God.
fine, thank God. But
Oh,
it's
my
so
God,
stressful.
poor
And
girl.
as a mother, I mean, is there anything harder than
No.
when your children struggle with anything?
No. I remember my daughter when she was a toddler. She had some kind of a thing on her neck. I had to take her to the hospital, and the surgeon had to like cut it, and they held her down and had to cut it. I never had such a bad moment in my life. And you know, interesting, after that, she was counterphobic. She would climb on the refrigerator, talk psychological.
Yeah.
Climb all over the place, climb over the fence, go crazy from being held down that one time. These things that happen to children are traumatic.
Yeah.
And they hound you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's yeah.
You know what mine is? Well, what's yours?
Trying to think.
What's your original trauma?
my original
Did
trauma?
we talk about this before?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
What's my original trauma? I've talked about my mother forced me to watch a horror movie once, and
How old were you?
Like 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, that definitely.
You
gave
remember
me
it to
nightmares.
this day.
Yes, definitely. Oh, okay. Here you go. Yeah, one of my very earliest memories.
Yeah.
Is when I was like younger than 3, being taken into a haunted house with my family and having things jump out.
You were
at
3
me.
years old?
Yeah, maybe even a little younger.
And they jump out at you?
Yeah, and that I had that nightmare for years.
You know, when I was at the Sphere a couple of weeks ago, I went to see the Eagles,
Mm-hmm.
which I highly recommend anyone going to that
Sure.
to the Sphere. It's terrific. Just the next day, we saw The Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
But you are so immersed in the tornado at this place because
Right.
it's all that like that I think a child would be petrified. I
Well,
wouldn't
that's a
take
scary
young
movie for
child.
kids. That has an impact even
But this is-
just watching it on a flat screen.
But you know, did I talk about this already?
Little
I
bit.
did. I tell you Bette Midler was with us?
yes.
So Bette and I were both crying at the end of Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Because we both were tearing up. And I looked at her. She was wiping her eye, and I was. You know why? Because she says
You sympathize with the witch.
No, no. But Dorothy says to the straw guy,
Yeah.
"I think I'm going to miss you the most," and you just get so verklempt. Even now,
All right. Mother's Day is this weekend. Are you doing anything special?
I haven't thought about it yet.
No. What's a perfect Mother's Day for you?
Just
Acknowledgement.
just seeing my kids.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't need any more than that.
You want something from Luca? You want a little handmade card or something? He's a teenager
You know,
now.
this
He
is a
doesn't do
one-way
that.
street with Luca. I give, he takes.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
My kids are in a dance competition on Sunday, so
Oh.
they and my wife are unavailable throughout Mother's Day, which is
Yeah.
So I'm going to take my mother out and we'll do
Oh,
some
well,
stuff,
you're
but-
lucky your mother's still with you.
Yeah, no, very lucky. Very
Yeah,
lucky.
I wish my mother were here. Maybe that would be something great to have my mother back. You know, you can only visit dead relatives when you're sleeping in your dreams.
Yeah.
And when I have a dream about my mother, I wake up like, oh, how nice that she was with me. But you cannot will a dream.
No, you can't.
It's not like a movie. You can't like take the remote and say, tonight I want to dream about my mother.
No, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Maybe someday we'll be able to do that.
Do you remember your dreams?
A little, sometimes, not that much.
Yeah.
I don't sleep well.
No? How many hours?
I decide I take magnesium.
Oh,
Somehow.
I was just listening to someone talk about
They
that.
say that it works.
It stops you from waking up at 2 a.m, they say.
No, you have to get up to pee anyway.
Yeah.
And I told you about Bernie. Has anybody called in to tell me what to do about
No,
this
and
dog?
frankly, folks, you're dropping the ball. Please write in and tell us how to stop her dog from...
Waking up at 12:02 because
Yeah.
I see the clock. Mm-hmm. And then Steve has to get out of bed and go in the other bedroom. Luckily, we have 2 bedrooms.
Right.
And then he goes right to sleep. Why? I can't. And he does it. He does it every single night.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think he wants me out of the bed.
I think he does, too.
He wants to be alone with my husband.
It's an edible thing or an Electra thing. Yeah. All right. So, big news. You and I are going to the Webby Awards next week.
Monday.
This is exciting. You're coming out. You're doing it.
I'm coming out. I want the world to know.
Yeah, I love it. This is very exciting. So you're gonna come. I'm very excited. You'll accept the Webby, and it'll be a lot of fun.
But I can only say 5 words.
So yeah, the Webbies have a thing where it's a 5-word speech. So we have to come up with what you're gonna say. Or
So
you'll have to come
more
up with what you're
than
gonna
I'll keep it brief. Hit thank you.
say. I'll keep it brief.
This
Thank you.
this is brief. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. Thanks.
All right, I have to go.
All right. Thank you for your time, Joy.
Thank you for your service.
All right. Tomorrow I'll be back with Sara Haines, the very handsy Sara Haines, and we'll see you then.